Namaste and welcome to the session number 6, Spiritual Aspects of Agnihotra. We have discussed the interplay of karma, jnana and upasana, and of course the ultimate privilege of the human life is that I can be with him. I can do something in real time to be with him, a state one notch above what is called sushupti. Probably the animals also go through the pleasure of sushupti, but we are one step above them that we can enjoy samadhi also. The statement Sankhya, that is sushupti samadhi moksheshu brahmarupta, that is placing these three states in a sequence, namely Supti, Samadhi, and Moksha. Samadhi is a state when I am not lying down, but I bring my mind as if it is in deep, dreamless sleep. Nothing is happening in the world. So I bring myself to a state as if I am disconnect from the world as I happen to be in deep, dreamless sleep. If I practice enough to bring my activities of mind activities and subdue them thoroughly. That is the science of Sankhya and Yoga. As you probably know, Patanjali describes Yoga as Yogas Chittavritti Nirodha. Chitta is the innermost faculty of our mind, and if I can bring my chitta void of anything, any function, then I am disconnect from my mind and I am connected to that Supreme Being. That being with Him is Upasana. So that is a unique privilege we have as human being, and that is the ultimate objective of human life, to get to that state. So this is very integral to any Vedic function that we do. Of course, we do all kinds of mundane activities for our survival and sustenance, but the quality time should be utilized to gain an understanding about this science and appreciate that Supreme Being. And just like a child plays around, eats food, and enjoys all the wonderful things of life, but also spends some moments with his mother and father. Those intimate moments, if a child is not able to have, we take pity on such an orphan child. And if you think over today's entire world, 7 billion population is almost orphaned. This Vedic message of Upasana is very, very important. And all other things that we do is part and parcel, is necessary, but must aim, we must channelize our whole soul towards that Upasana. And then we decided to discuss, of course, Agnihotra, we realize, is a karm based function, what is called karm kand. But as it happens in the Vedic culture, everything is centering around that supreme being and appreciation of his, and finally to be with him. So these 8 mantras that are Ishwar Stuti Prarthana Upasana, as the title suggests, are interwoven into three into one. So to say, Ishwar is that supreme being, and we are doing his stuti, glorifying his functions and virtues, appreciating it. He's so nice, he's so kind. And then he is closest to me, and I seek his help in all my pursuits. I realize my shortcomings, and with his help, I can move forward. That is prarthana. And all this is so that I succeed in upasana. So we have seen the first mantra, Vishwani Dev Savita Dvita. Seemingly, this was in the nature of prarthana, prayer, that you take away all our ills, all our pain and suffering, and give us all that is good. It sounds like prarthana. But then we looked at Maharishi Dayanand's interpretation that hidden is the meaning of upasana within this simple mantra, whereas we are told that hidden is the deep meaning that if I am with him, I am in upasana with him, then of course the necessary condition was that my mind is blank, inactive, and in so doing, I might not have realized it, but my mind has been handed over to him, and he is washing and servicing it, replacing all the negativities with positivities, washing away the unwanted stuff from my mind, even the sanskars I might have been carrying from so many lifetimes. All that can be washed away if they are negative ones. And he will be kind enough to fill with positivities. The positive sanskars that were hidden will now blossom. So that was another way to look at Om Vishwani Dev. The second mantra, which we covered last time, Om Hiranyagarbha Samavatata. Even then, we saw that it ended with a message of Upasana. I read out one paragraph, what is called Padarth, which I will read out today again, because the second paragraph of Bhavat was missed out last time, and today I can add that also. We have discussed this second mantra at length, just for sake of completeness. I read the Padarth again. जो हिरण्यगर्भ स्वप्रकाश स्वरूप और जिसने प्रकाश करने हारे सूर्य चंद्रमादि पदार्थ उत्पन्न करके धारण किए हैं, जो भूतस्य उत्पन्न हुए संपूर्ण जगत का जातः प्रसिद्ध पति स्वामी एक एक ही चेतन स्वरूप आसीत था, जो अग्रे सब जगत के उत्पन्न होने से पूर्व संभवतः वर्तमान था। सह सो इमाम इस पृथ्वी भूमि उत और द्याम सुयादि को दाधार धारण कर रहा है। हम लोग उस कसमयी सुख स्वरूप देवाय शुद्ध परमात्मा के लिए हमेशा ग्रहण करने योग्य योगाभ्यास और अति प्रेम से I had highlighted this term योगाभ्यास. That is what is yoga chittavritti niyodh. That is what leads to upasana. हमेशा ग्रहण करने योग्य योगाभ्यास और अति प्रेम से विधेम विशेष भक्ति किया करें. So that was what is called padarth. The word meaning I had read out. Last week I did not have the access to read out the bhavarth. Today I read it from his Vedbhashya commentary. This is Yajurved, 23rd chapter, 4th mantra. हिरण्यगर्भ समवर्तताक. भावार्थ. हे मनुष्य, तुमको योग्य है कि इस प्रसिद्ध सृष्टि के रचने से प्रथम परमेश्वर ही विद्यमान था. जीव गाढ़ निद्रा सुषुप्ति में लीन और जगत का कारण, जिसको प्रकृति कहते हैं, अत्यंत सूक्ष्मावस्था में आकाश के समान एक रस स्थिर था. ए होमोजेनस ओशियन ऑफ पार्टिकल्स, जिसने सब जगत को रच के धारण किया और जो अंत्य समय में प्रलय कहता है, उसी परमात्मा को उपासना के योग्य मानो. So that is what we have read, the bhavat of second mantra, Hiranyagarbha Samavat, which I had unfortunately missed out last time. Today we want to go to the third mantra in this series. Let me read out from his commentary on Yajurveda. This is 25th chapter, 13th mantra. And here I have both the paragraphs of Padarth and Bhavat. So I will read the mantra as it is and the two paragraphs. Om ya atmada balada yasya vishwa upasate prashisham yasya deva yasya chayamritam yasya mityu kasmai devaya visha vidhema. पदार्थ. हे मनुष्यों, यह जो आत्मदा आत्मा को देने और बलदा बल देने वाला, यस्य जिसकी प्रशिषम उत्तम शिक्षा को विश्वे समस्त देवा विद्वान लोग उपासते सेवते, यस्य जिसके समीप से सब व्यवहार उत्पन्न होते, यस्य जिसका छाया आश्रय अमृतम अमृत स्वरूप और यस्य जिसकी आज्ञा का भंग मृत्यु मरण के तुल्य है, उस कसमयी सुख रूप देवाय स्तुति के योग्य परमात्मा के लिए हम लोग हविषा होमने के पदार्थ से विधेम सेवा का विधान करें. भावार्थ. हे मनुष्यों, जिस जगदीश्वर की उत्तम शिक्षा में की हुई मर्यादा में सूर्य आदि लोक नियम के साथ वर्तमान है, जिस सूर्य के बिना जल की वर्षा और अवस्था का नाश नहीं होता, वह सवित्र मंडल जिसने बनाया है उसी की उपासना सब मिलकर करें. Again here we see the ending. Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhem. And again Maharishi Dayanand is telling us उसी की उपासना सब मिलकर करें. The one who has been described in the foregoing. So let's look at this mantra carefully and get the right kind of motivation for our day to day life. Ya Atmada, ya is that whatever, whatever that being does. Atmada, the later part of the is giving, the Rati. So Atmada, we are the Atma Tattva. Atma is that consciousness. And to us, he is giving something. So that giver, that supreme being who gives something to my soul, my innermost consciousness, that cannot pick up anything. That is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta. Nothing can touch it. Now, how can he give it to us then? Because if, say, I have a particular fabric without any pocket, I cannot hold anything. And that is the way me, myself is, my soul is. It is aparinami. It goes through no transformation. So, what can be given to it? That is where his supreme design comes into picture. He connects my Atma with the overall mind domain. Buddhi, Ahankar, Man, and five organs of senses, five organs for action, and so on and so forth. In this series, the very first connection is to what is called Buddhi. That is in Patanjali's Yoga Darshan described as Sanyog. Drashta, the observer, the Atma Tattva, the Purush, who is the consciousness, is joined in a particular manner, in a very superior mechanism to Drashya. Drashta and Drashya. Drashya is the object to be seen that appears on my buddhi, on my chitta. So buddhi is also sometimes called a chit, sometimes called as buddhi. It is the same organ. We will not go into those details. Buddhi and chit refer to the same unit of my overall mind. Mind has three basic units. Closest to me is buddhi, then ahankar, then manas, man. But buddhi has another name. It has another name, so to say, in Sankhya, called as mahat. But from our perspective, as a component of our mind, it has another name, chitta. So the same unit that is closest to me, I am looking, watching every time, has three names, Mahat, Buddhi, as well as Chitta. We will not go into that detail why it has three names at this point. But for those of you who can understand, I will just give a very brief one sentence each. Mahat is the generalized name for this principle, which also has capacity to become Panchbhut. What would become Panchbhut may be rich in Sattva, may be rich in Rajas, may be rich in Tamas. It is a generalized principle. But a specific Mahat that is rich in Sattva, that that can function as my buddhi is is employed to become my buddhi. So a specialized mahat which is rich in sattva is chosen as my buddhi. So mahat is a general term, whereas buddhi is a specific mahat that is rich in sattva. Okay, so that clarifies between mahat and chitta, mahat and buddhi. Now, buddhi is a generalized instrument that is functioning overall as my discriminatory ability to distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad, truth and falsehood, and so on and so forth. We are always confronted with this sort of intellectual thinking to determine whether an idea is good or bad, whether an event is to my benefit or not of my benefit. Should I run away from here or should I stay here? All the choices we have every moment. That is intellectual thinking, decision making. बुद्धिपूर्वक व्यवहार करना. Now, if I am not interested in using my buddhi to that level of discrimination, I want to relax. But still something comes on my buddhi. It just comes. I say I'm not interested in deep thinking, etc. But still it stays there. Say my daughter's diagram, picture, photo. I don't want to go deep into thinking. But still it comes, goes away. Something else comes, goes away. Like in a dream, we may be doing even in the daytime. Then buddhi is function at a reduced potential, and then it is called a chitta. So much so about mahat, buddhi, and chit, the same name of our instrument that is closest to me. And that supreme being has brought me and my buddhi together. That is called as sanyog. Drashta and drishya have been begun together. And that sanyog is actually the bondage, bandh, why we are in this world. And moksha is to break off this particular sanyog. So this is the whole dynamics of human life. We have got to go through it. And the way to break this bondage is also through the samadhi. When I bring my chitta absolutely blank, and then the certain what is called klesh, a particular sanskar residing in my second unit of ahankar, when that gets burned away, bij dagdvat, then my death, which is inevitable for all of us, we will have to die. But when there is no more sanskar, then I will have no more birth. So that is a way, that is the only way to get away from the pain and suffering of the world in a total absolute sense. So I was talking about Atmada. So the Atma has the inherent power, threefold power, Jnana, Karma and Bhog. Ability to know what is appearing on buddhi, and sometimes it borrows it on itself, thinking that it is happening to me. Actually, it is not happening to me, but under the impressions of those sanskars, the particular drashta thinks this is happening to me. Just like sometimes we are watching a TV news, We are detached from what is the TV is saying. But sometimes we become so much part of it as if it is happening to us and we are very much part of that event. Then we have tears in our eyes, we become emotional. So, in the same way, sometimes the drashta is watching the buddhi in a detached manner. Then it has the ability to know, it becomes aware of the event. But when he gets too attached to it, then it becomes his bhog. So jnana becomes bhog. That is our choice. If we want, we can remain detached. Then it is no more our bhog. So bhog is not compulsory, and that is what is called detachment and vairagya. So if I practice vairagya, so that's why Patanjali is saying how to gain chittavritti nirodh. He says abhyas vairagya abhyam. Vairagya and abhyas. If I have vairagya, I am detached from whatever my buddhi, which is my inner TV kind of thing. If I stay detached from it, and if I practice how to gain those moments of samadhi, then I will be on the right success path of chittavritti nirodh. And that will one day bring me to a stage that I will wash away all the sanskars, and that is the door of death will become door of moksh, mukti dham. So, Atmada Balada. Atma has the three powers of Jnana, getting to know it, Bhog, and then action. Then I take action, and then it goes command outwardly. Through my buddhi, I decide an action that activates ahankar, then man, and then five organs for action: hands, feet, speech, and two organs for excretion. Then I act upon the situation, generally to get away from pain and towards pleasures of life, and also towards knowledge of life, like what we are trying to learn, spiritual aspects of Agnihotra. The Atma has these three powers, but alone it cannot execute those powers. It is like an engine which has 50 horsepower, but there is no fuel in the fuel tank. So if you don't have fuel in the fuel tank, the engine cannot deliver those 50 horsepower. In the same way, Atma has these three extraordinary powers: to gain knowledge, to experience the event, Bhog, and to activate and influence the surroundings by action. But of its own self, it cannot do it alone. That's why that sanyog is important. So, Atmada Balada. Now, Atma has the force, Bal, because it is connected to the Buddhi. It has that envelope of mind, and then somehow I entered into my father's body. Me and my mind together, I entered into my father's body. Then got transported into my mother's body. And then the body domain, the Annamaya Koshvaj, that envelops layer after layer. This whole process is called Atmada Balada. In the previous mantra, he made the sun and the moon. Hiranyagarbha Samat. Prithvim Dhyam Utimam. Sadadhaya Prithvim Dhyam Utimam. Even before our arrival, he made the earth and the sun and the solar system, stars and galaxies ready. Just like any young couple who get married, they prepare their household and then they say they are ready to welcome a child in their home. In the same way, this big universe was made so that we human beings can come. And now he begins a process that not only us, all the animals, all other sorts of billions of species, they also appear on this earth one by one in a particular sequence, and towards the end comes we, the human beings, supposedly most responsible and developed, and live most responsibly on this earth by knowing what are the objectives of our life, whom we are, whom we ought to be grateful for. And in that manner, this mantra is saying, after Hiranyagarbha Samat, a universe has been placed in order. All of us are brought into this world with individual Atma being connected to a mind domain and a body domain, so that every Atma has the necessary bal, force to sustain its life, to deliver something to others, and by doing so, raise its own stature and, if possible, attain the ultimate objective of human life. Ya Atmada Balada. Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Devaha. Prashisham, if you are familiar with Hindi language, sounds like Prashansha, one who sings glory, who Vishwa Deva, all the noble people in this world. And what have they achieved? Upasate. They lead their life as if they are always in permanent company of that Supreme Being. They are confident people. Just like a child is very confident when he is in his mother's lap. He thinks he is most secured. Nobody can do any harm to him because he is united with his mother or with his father. He behaves as if he is all powerful. He is all happy. Nothing is missing because of his intimacy to his mother and father. So is true with all the noble souls in the world. What we are being told is Upasana sounds like a momentary process. For some moment, I am with him. But the person who has succeeded in Upasana, in Samadhi, when he comes back to the world, to us he may look like a normal, common human being. But his confidence level is very high, very high. He thinks as if he is in the protective shield of that Supreme Being. No harm can touch him. He has emerged from an experience that gives him such a confidence that he is not in the moments of samadhi but always as if he is in his company. And every moment he is protected by that Supreme Being. That is his power. Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Deva. So these are very noble people. If you meet them, they will always sing his glory because they are feeling united with him. Pashyam Shradashatam, they always see him. A common man sees this sky, the trees, the air, the beauty of the nature, but a noble Devata sees within these things, he is seeing the Supreme Being. Shrunuyam Shradashatam. We may think we are hearing some songs, some Ved mantra, but he is hearing the sound of that Supreme Being. We speak all kinds of worldly words, Prabhavam Shradashatam, but whenever he speaks only the glory of that Supreme Being. So he is one with him, so to say, Aham Brahmasmi, so to say, for him. He feels so, just like a small child feels so when he is in his mother's lap. His feeling is not false. We have all felt like that when we were small. And that's what did tremendous push to us for our overall development. And now we want to feel that nearness to that Supreme Being. That's what it is motivating us to. And it is superbly described in the third quarter. Yasya chaya amitam, in whose shadow is immortality. As I said, they live as if they are in the protective shield of that Supreme Being. And that is what is described. They live in His shadow every moment. And that shadow is described as immortality. Yasya Mrityu. Now the contrast is given. If you choose not to be in His shadow, as such, we all are in His shadow. We just don't realize it. And if we begin to realize it, we have become one like Vishvedeva, all those noble people. We can also graduate to that level. And then we will have as if I am always in his shadow of immortality. But suppose one doesn't do that, then the contrast is given Yasya Mityuhu. He has, out of his own choice, he has chosen death and not immortality. Of course, the next event of death is inevitable for all of us, but for some of us who can become Vishvedeva, Upasate, described in the second quarter, for them, the so called door of death will be the door of Mukti Dham. They, out of their Abhyas and Vairagya, they would have converted that death, the door which takes to the death, mortality, they have they would convert that door to door of immortality. They will also pass through that same door. To us, that looks like a door of death, but for them, that is a door of immortality. But who do not choose to lead life the way it has been described here, out of their own choice. Everybody has a choice in this world as a human being. We are not programmed. We can raise our stature. But for those who care not to implement this message, Sushupti to Samadhi to Moksha, if they don't heed this message, then out of their own choice, Yasya Mrityuhu, they have chosen death. And that death will give rise to next birth again. Cycle of birth and death will continue as a spiral, as a vortex. The human life gives an opportunity to come out of this cycle. Animals don't have that privilege. For them, it is sushupti and death only. No samadhi, no moksha. But whenever we come back next time in human life, we must be fully aware of what is the unique privilege we have to see not only the nature, but the maker of the nature. We can develop those insights, and that insight that brings closer to us to that supreme being day by day I should gain that maturity. And that process is kasmai devaya havisha vidhem. Every day there is a yaj in my mind going on. Not every day, every moment there is a yaj in my mind. And I am continuously putting in ahuti, sapta hota. The buddhi is the havan kund, and ahankar, man, and five janinde, the seven are sapta hota. They are putting in continuous ahuti in my havan kund, yajna kund of at buddhi. And that brings another light, a fire, not physical light, light of knowledge, light of wisdom within me at my buddhi level. That transforms the way I look at the world. The world was physical, material world, but I now see the maker of the world. Just like sometimes you see a beautiful art, and then you begin to appreciate that artist so much. What that artist must have been. So the art becomes a vehicle for you to be transported to that artist. In the same way, the entire world is his beautiful art. Look at this world as the art and appreciate that artist. That is stuti. And then I am here, that Supreme Being is there. I want to be closer to him. Just like every child, after he plays around for a couple of hours, he rushes to his mother. I want to rush to him. Rushing to him is disconnecting from all the other things in the world. And that requires enormous strength, detachment. And in that, I seek his help only. That is prarthana. And then abhyas is to rush to him, to walk towards him. And then gain some moments of samadhi and upasana. It is a daily, everyday practice, twice a day. So today we have discussed the third mantra. So the sequence has been Vishwani Dev, ab initio first realization. There is a lot of pain and suffering in this world. You can only take me away from it. Just like a child tells to mother, whenever I am hungry or thirsty or whatever is wrong with me, you only take care of me. That realization as a grown up adult, that now in my age at least I don't personally have my mother and father. Whom to go to? That supreme being. Sooner this realization, better it is. Then this faith. Yes, his wonderful design. Hiranyagarbha Samavat. He made everything I would have needed in the world before I came into this world. Just like when I got married, we prepared the household for our first child. He is also mother and father who does the same. And then he brings me into this world, just like my parents brought me into this world. And I brought my child into this world. The story is going parallel. The mother and father bringing their child in this world, the supreme being making the universe, preparing it and bringing us, the entire humankind and all other species into this world in the same manner. There is a one to one parallel. We have to learn it that we are in the same total set. We are a tiny segment in this total universe design. Even all the events happening at our individual level, in our tiny homes, is a minuscule in this infinitely large world. Indeed, what we learn from this day to day life world has a correspondence with this world. Indeed, what I was so close to my mother and father, now is time to become close to this Supreme Being. There is absolute one to one correspondence. And that's what we have seen in the third mantra. Ya Atmada Balada Yasya Vishwopasat. Let's develop that relationship with him like I had with my mother and father in the childhood. And in the next mantra, we will discuss next week. Yah pranato nimishato mahitvai. Not only he brings me into this world, he ensures he continues to remain with me to ensure my sustenance. Now we'll see this one to one correspondence will be still working. Just like my parents gave me the birth and they brought me up. They took care of my food and other clothing, all other needs for a while, but not forever. Because they also get old and then they will go away. But this Supreme Being is always with us. Not only to give us birth, Ya Atmada Balada. Now he will be sustaining our pranic forces every moment. Yah pranato nimishato mahitvai kidraja jagato babu. We will gain an appreciation of this beautiful design. So we have discussed today in the language of five sheets that envelop me. So the Purush, the Drashta, is layered by five sheets, enveloped by five sheets, Panchakosh. The first one is Anandamaya Kosh, Vijnanmaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Annamaya Kosh. So, in our discussion in Ya Atmada Balada, we have discussed Vijnanmaya Kosh, the Buddhi and Ahankar part, Manomaya Kosh, Ahankar and Mana, the inner mind and outer mind. Anandmaya Kosh is there invariably because we are always with him, which we don't realize it. And then in my mother's womb, the Annamaya Kosh was formed. And now we need to discuss a very unusual thing. This, so to say, is body, mind, and me. Body, mind, and soul. Today's common man talks about. But today's common man doesn't realize there is a pranic domain. So I'm not just body, mind, and soul. I am body, pranic domain, mind, and soul. This is between Annamaya Kosh and Manomaya Kosh. Between body and mind, there is a pranic force that sustains my life, and that is what we will discuss next time. How it feeds to the body and the mind, so that when I want to use them, I can use them. What are these pranic forces? The non voluntary forces, which are grouped together in a family called Pran. Pran has five members: Pran, Apan, Vyan, Saman, and Udan. So Pran is a individual member of this family, and the entire family is also used, is termed as Pran. So the term Pran has twofold meanings: the whole family as well as one of this member, depending on the context. The same thing applies to my mind also. We did discuss today in the context of Ya Atmada Balada that the Purush, the Chaitanya, the Drashta has Buddhi, Ahankar, and Mana. These three units form what is called Antakarna, Sukshma Shahi, and is overall my mind. So it's also called as Man, like in Yajurved 34th chapter mantras, Tanme Manah Shiv Sankalpamastu. So the word Man may refer to the whole aggregate of Sukshma Shahi, Antakaran, as well as the word Man is one unit of this whole Antakaran. When we say Buddhi, Ahankar, and Man is one unit of the mind, but the whole unit, whole aggregate of mind is also called as Man. So we have to be careful in reading the literature. The word Man can refer to the whole Antakaran, whole Sukshma Shayi, or can also, like in Tanme Mana Shiv Sankalp Mastu, the word Man refers to the whole aggregate, whole Antakaran. Whereas in Sankhya, Teodas Karan, 13 instruments, Buddhi, Ahankar, and Man is one unit. So same applies to Pran. Pran can be the whole family of Pran, five members, and also five members have their individual names as Pran, Apan, Vyan, Saman, Udan. So it may refer to that also. So Vedic literature is very vast, has very deep meaning. It is good to do a lot of swadhyaya self-study, but the terminologies can sometimes be very confusing if you are not using, if you don't understand the term the rishi is using it for in a proper manner. Thank you all for your attention. We'll meet again next week, seventh session of the spiritual aspects of Agnihotra. Namaste.